Good afternoon, everyone. So today we're going to be talking about a topic that says what are the proper ways to deal with a neighbor who constitutes a nuisance within the housing estates. First of all, we'll talk about what is a nuisance. A nuisance is simply a person or thing that causes you inconvenience or annoyance. It's a nuisance having all these kind of people around your house, because when you say that someone or something is a nuisance, you mean that they annoy you or they cause you problems. You understand? For example, when you enter into somebody else's property without the person's consent and without causing him any injury, it will be trespass. Of course, you are trespassing. But if there's an injury to the person's property or interference with the enjoyment of the person's property, of course it can amount to a nuisance. For example, in law there are three types of nuisance. When you talk about the public, the private, the statutory, of course the public nuisance is the one that is very applicable to our topic today, whereby a person unreasonably interferes with a right that the general public shares in common. For example, I'll give you a very peculiar example. You have a neighbor in a housing estate. He plays his music very, very loud that you cannot even sleep at night. He has a way of turning the volume of his radio sets or TV sets that the noise can't even allow you either to take a nap in the afternoon or even at night to sleep peacefully after a long day's job. So you are becoming uncomfortable listening to this. Your neighbor turn the volume of his audio set to the highest, and it makes you uncomfortable. You cannot sleep. So how do you deal with this nuisance of a neighbor? It can equally come in a way that he shouts. Maybe it's this kind of neighbor that they fight in their home, and this fight, because of the noise it emanates, it disturbs you. Or it can even be a neighbor that maybe harasses you or threatens you. Probably there's an issue. He now goes a step further to start threatening you, to start harassing you. I'm going to do this to you, I will do that to you. So he or she has become a nuisance to you. And now you people are staying in an estate which comprises of different kinds of people living in a community, because an estate is like a community. So you are like looking at this person is really getting on my nerves, and in that way the person have become a nuisance. There are a couple of ways you can be able to address this situation. Firstly, we advocate you go about the peaceful route. The peaceful route is in the sense that you call the person to a friendly meeting, a friendly gathering, and you have a heart-to-heart discussion with the person. You outline what makes you angry in the way he or she conducts himself, what makes you annoyed. Probably, for example, like the example I gave, whereby he plays his music very loud. You can equally address it by telling him that I don't like the loud music, it disturbs my sleep, it disturbs my peace. So what we are saying is that you have a peaceful conversation with this person by telling him that this is what is the loud music causes to me. So he or she might not even be aware that what he or she does is having a negative effect to you. So that's why we advocate the peaceful route. You have a discussion with him. If there are other people that are equally affected by the same problem, you can go together and have this heart-to-heart discussion with him that please let this stop. For example, if it's a loud music, let him stop. You can equally write a letter to him and say, please let this, we don't like this behavior, can you put an end to it? Then thirdly, you can involve the police, whereby it becomes a life-threatening situation. You can even equally involve the police. And again, if it's a life-threatening situation, you can equally file a lawsuit in the court. In that way, all these processes will help to curb a nuisance neighbor and make your environment very peaceful and lively. Thank you so much for listening to me. Have a wonderful day.